51 here. All right, you seen in the last video the 1938 Farmall 12, as it was referred to. We got it in the shop here, and it's been parked in a under garage there. And like I say, we've been working on the Cub for off and on for 2 years, trying to get it done, running in every problem imaginable. And but it was a challenge for sure. But I'm not going to restore this tractor here. I'm basically just going to get it mechanically running, sound. I'm going to get it operational, everything working on it like it should, and then we're just going to coat it down with some type of oil, something like that, to you know, keep it from rusting. So it's got pretty good original paint on it still, as you can see. Everything is I'm gonna leave it like this. It's dusty from sitting out under the carport, but it's dusty right now. So I'm gonna get it mechanically sound and everything, and then we'll clean it up a little bit, and then we'll coat it down with some type of oil or something like that. So this tractor has, I'm sure at one time it may have had steel on the front. I'm not sure, but it's been converted over to the rubber tire on the front. The back has the rear pretty good rib. I don't know what you call them, not ribbons, but they're the teeth on the back there on the tread, I guess. It's still in pretty good shape, those wheels there. So I'm going to leave them. I'm going to leave the rubber, the steel on the back and the rubber on the front here. It makes it easy for steering. If I didn't have much trouble yesterday turning it, so I'm gonna leave that alone so we can steer the thing, because that's kind of important. But my next big issue is getting the brakes fixed on it. I got some liners coming, and a friend of mine's got a tool to put the rivets in the liners. So I'm gonna get the brakes working on it. That's kind of important to stop unless you've got a bumper, and that's why I'm guessing they put a lot of these 140s, they put bumpers on. But had one valve here was, not the valve wasn't sticky, but the rocker arm here was sticky. Got it freed up, and everything else is working. Oiled them up pretty good. Everybody is working. I've got to get some hoses on here, finish the hoses, fan belt. I got to get either, I'm gonna have to drill these out. I welded some nuts on there and they would break off, so what I'm gonna have to do is drill these out and retap these. So that should be fun. And this one here, actually a nut I put on there, and it twisted off in there, but I'll drill that one too. This is a kerosene manifold. As you can still see, it's got the rod here. I put it back up here, but the rod would run up to here for that valve in there to, it's supposed to be shut off something to help it heat up. But I've got shutters over here, if you can see, front shutters that would go in here, and you would basically shut those off, change that over, and that would get the engine to heat up, so you could turn on the kerosene and run on kerosene. This tractor is a kerosene, I forgot to tell you, it's a kerosene model. Here is your gasoline tank, and this here will be your kerosene tank. I'm not going to run it on kerosene. I have no desire to go that far with it. That's a lot of, you got to have everything working right, or 100% to have for that to work, and it's a lot of trouble. Plus you got to drain the kerosene will seep down through a little bit, and you got to keep that drained. I'm gonna order a kit here for the fuel pump, mechanical fuel pump on it, and get that working. I had to take all this off to get the carburetor off yesterday. So carburetor is right here. It looks pretty good on the inside, everything. I think it's been rebuilt at one time. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna try it first. If not, then I'll have to rebuild it. So let's see, like I say, it's pretty much what I've gotten into. I got to get a temperature gauge. It's kind of important to know how hot that thing's running when you get out there, especially something this old. So I got my breather tube here. Breather tube comes along to the top right here where the carburetor intake for the carburetor would be. Got oil in that, checked all that. Put some oil in here, that's steering box up here. So other than that, clutch is pretty good on it. Got handbrakes. Got to get those hooked up on that side. There's your throttle. There, as you can see, you would operate that like that. And you can see, and then it would, there's your governor. So I'll say this is all new to me. I've never messed with anything this old. Most all my stuff's been Super A's, 140s, and C's and stuff like that. That's kind of the tractors I like to mess with, and most of my family, that's what they had. Pretty much everybody's been either raised on a 140 or a Cub or something. So like I say, these steel wheels, I'm gonna keep these. I like these. I like the way they look. The seat, I need to tighten that, get a different bolt. Somebody's got a very loose bolt in there. But this has no 3-point hitch or nothing like that. They didn't have anything like that. They did have a mechanical hitch that would run off the something with the PTO, I think. It would basically, the arms would come up. It was like a thing that it would cycle, and you couldn't stop halfway and go back down. No, you had to go all the way back up, and then it would go back down. So it was not like you could go up a little bit and down, or all the way up and then down halfway and then back up or something. You had to make a full revolution. Mostly these tractors here were cultivating tractors, or tractors they ran a plow or something like that with, or pulled a trailer. So I got my little Genius plow. I'm gonna hook to that and run that. Like I said, we got a plow day coming up March the 26th in Greenville with our international chapter. So kind of excited. That's my whole goal here, is to get this thing running and take it and make a couple rounds with it before it either cuts off or whatever. So you can see it had the cultivator, what they call the quick hitch cultivator system. The bolts, when you could throw these latches over, all right, here we go, like on the hitch here. So you undid those bolts. It come with a long crank. You would take those bolts just a little bit and throw that thing forward, and then you could take this off pretty quick. And that's what they call the quick attach, or the quick hitch, or something like that. You could take your cultivators on and off pretty quick that way. So I might take those off there eventually, but my steering wheel, I got to get it. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I saw there was a guy that had he took something and he coated it with something. He soaked the thing and he coated the cracks, and then he sanded it down, and then he painted it or something like that. So I don't know if y'all got any suggestions on what to do with that. I'd kind of like to keep a steering wheel on there. I hate to have to put a new wheel on it, but then again, it kind of is cracked pretty bad. I don't know if you got any idea what to do with that. Just let me know what you think on that. Like I say, it's got the cable. There's a rod on the inside of the frame here, so when you turn the steering wheel, it's going to lock this side up for turning right, and lock the left side up if you turn left. Then you had the option of the handbrake here, so I'm going to get those two handbrakes hooked up, because you need a way to stop. So this filter here, I'll go through this real quick. This here is a Purolator filter. And I've never seen one like this. I was expecting to find a cartridge, or a paper type cartridge filter on it, but some guys on the forum there told me, the F12 page told me that this was a reusable filter made by Purolator. Said that it was kind of a nice filter to have and don't get rid of it. So basically, he told me to soak it in gasoline, and you can reuse them. So that's kind of nice feature to have. But yeah, so like I say, I got them two little rusty rocker arms there that I got to get. Well, they're freed up, but I'm gonna make sure they're freed up pretty good. That they were sticking, and make sure they don't, stand and bend the rod or something. Magnet is in pretty good shape. It's good, got good fire to it. Very hot. I'm good and happy with that. I'm gonna put a new cap and wires on it and change the points in it. I think that's it. Everything else works pretty good. Transmission sounds good. I turned it over a couple times when we were pulling it yesterday. I squirted some oil in the cylinders. And I let it turn over a time or two yesterday when I had to let the clutch out and let it spin over, and no knocking or nothing up there. So I'm hoping all that's fine. At least I got oil in that. I got that to where I can steer. That got plenty of lubrication up there. I may see if I can lube these front hubs up, grease the back here. But it's just a neat old tractor. You don't get to see these operating or at plow days or that often. A lot of people would they don't like to mess with this old stuff, and I tell you, I wasn't too crazy about it myself, but then again, it's just a neat old tractor. Something that's 84-ish, I think 84 years old this year. So you just don't see stuff like this all the time operating or running. So usually somebody's got it out there in the front yard or it's rusted to pieces. But this tractor was taken care of. As you can see, it's got light surface rust, and that's one reason. It's a lot of red still left on it, and some of the decals you can still see. You can see where it says F12 up here. So I'm gonna coat it down with oil pretty heavily and see if I can keep it like that. I'm not going to restore it. I don't think I just ain't got time right now to do that. So I'm not going to mess with that. But I do want to get it running, and that's why I'm going to coat it down with some oil. And I think they look good like that. So, and I don't know if PTO work. I'm sure it does. Everything's hooked up. But so it's right interesting. It'll be an interesting project here. I'm gonna work on it and see if I can get it going. Like I say, take it to the plow day, maybe take it to a couple shows. But I tell you what, it's right rough on hard ground with those cleats like that. So I don't know how somebody went down a hard dirt road with it very far. It don't go very fast at all. It is very slow from what I've been told. So, but that's kind of the walk around general of what I got to work with here. I think I've got a pretty good tractor to work with. Just get a few little things here, get those kind of taken care of, and so it'll run and won't have any issues. I think the clutch is fine in it and seemed to grab pretty good. So, but that's it. I can't think of anything else. Like I say, if you got any help me out with the steering wheel, maybe might have to get some parts. Manifold, I may change it over to the gasoline manifold, which the exhaust was sitting about right out here. I may change it if this drilling out don't go too well. I may drill just get another manifold from Jason DeFore down there in Nashville, North Carolina. Which is, if you're looking for some good tractor parts, great guy to deal with. Jason DeFore, he's Nashville, North Carolina, and I'll put a link in the description below. You can contact him if you need parts or anything. Get up with him and tell him Farmall 51 sent you there, so he'll be glad to help you out. All right, well that's it, and like I say, we'll keep you updated on the progress of the 1938 F12, and then a little 382 here too. We're working on it. All right, thanks for watching.